MetaTypes provide a powerful means of defining components and then subclassing them in pages, sections, and form items. Each metatype that you define in the MetaType Editor can contain attribute value pairs as well as delegates and their procedure or function names. Essentially, a metatype is a class which can be inherited simply by specifying its name in the MetaTypes attribute for user interface elements. For example, here, the search menu metatype defines 5 attributes and 1 delegate. It has been applied to 2 field form items and 1 section. When applied to form items, it specifies that they should appear in their section's automatically created search panel. When applied to sections, it specifies that they should have a visible, auto-created search panel. A visible menu with the options Search, and a custom code delegate to be run when a menu is selected. Before opening the MetaType Editor, decide whether you want these metatypes to apply just to the current app or whether you want to use them for multiple apps. For multiple apps, first open a project. That way, when you save metatypes in the editor, they will be saved to a file with the same base name as the project in the MetaTypes folder. This will be the default file used by the MetaType editor in all apps in this project. It will also be listed in the header bar, allowing it to be selected as the MetaTypes file for any app. If you do not have a project open, the MetaTypes file will be created in the app and will not appear in the header bar list for other apps. The name and location of the MetaTypes file and the MetaTypes library file, where the delegate code is stored, are in the General App Configuration App Settings, so can be viewed or changed as required. Note the app:/prefix showing that the files are located in the app. And when the files are in the shared MetaTypes folder, they have a MetaTypes:/prefix. The MetaType editor is accessed from the System menu or from its header bar tool button. These operate as toggles. To create a metatype, click the plus button, then enter a name for the metatype. This should be unique in this MetaTypes file. I'm going to call it Search Panel Toggle. Then, in the Attributes panel, select Page, Section or Form Item. Then double-click the attribute to be defined. I'm starting here with the Section Search Panel Visible attribute. The Help panel displays information about the attribute, and the value field changes depending on its type. So I now have the options of True or False. I'll select True and click the green tick to save. I can edit this attribute definition by double-clicking in the MetaTypes panel or clicking the Edit icon in the action bar. To delete it, use the Delete icon. To define another attribute for the Search Panel Toggle metatype, just double-click on its name. So specify that this should be an auto-create search panel. Make the section menu visible and specify a search menu item. I'm also going to define the delegate to be called when the menu option is selected. Click the button to create and edit the code in a floating script editor. The usual script editor right-click menu options are available. When you've finished editing, click Done to save and exit. MetaTypes can of course be applied to different element types. To define attributes or delegates for pages or form items, select using the pull-down, then double-click the attribute as before. Here, form items with this MetaType will be included in their section's auto-created search panel. Once you've completed entering MetaTypes and their attributes, click Save to commit them to the MetaTypes file. Undo will delete uncommitted changes. Apply will apply changes to UI elements that have MetaTypes already specified. The system menu or header bar toggles or the window X can be used to close the MetaType editor. To specify a MetaType for a particular UI element, access its attributes from its Attributes dialog or the Attributes tab if you have the App Inspector open. Click the button to display all currently available MetaTypes. Use the checkboxes to select or deselect them. Reorder the MetaTypes using the row selection icons. The order of the MetaTypes is important if they change the same attribute. The last defined MetaType will be the last applied, so will overwrite earlier changes. Once MetaTypes have been specified for a UI element, when you make any changes to a MetaType in the MetaType Editor, you can just click Apply to have the elements updated with the changes. Remember, you need to click the Save button to commit changes to the MetaTypes file.